Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chandrika Shetty, working in GRAM, Grassroots Research and Advocacy Movement, Mysore, Karnataka. GRAM is an initiative of Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement. SVYM is a 30-year-old organization working for tribals and rural people, majorly in the areas of health, education, community development. With the 30 years of experience, we realized that everybody, in sense, academician, the researchers, policy makers, everybody work in their own different compartmentalization, where for development there should have been actually synchronization between all these things. That was not happening. So GRAM was born out of the need to bring community together, everybody together for the development. GRAM is carrying out the research activities with grassroots perspectives. Based on the research findings, we are working towards the policy changes. And here I go with some of the current projects is nutrition, rural development, education, livelihood. How do we use technology in GRAM is, this is quite a unique thing, is when we go to the field to implement some of the projects, there's a lot of information that we gather. It's not about one particular issue. There's a lot of other dynamic issues which we collected. So basically, when we collect these data, storing it and using it for further analysis is very important for the research organization. So that's where the technology play a very important role for us. And at GRAM, we use technology for, I think like any other organization, for communication and planning, especially using email, e-groups, calendar, content management system, and especially for the documentation, e-library and archival, we use the cloud-based sharings. Especially we work on things like Dropbox, Google Drive, which keeps a lot of transparency in our own work. And for research and analysis, we use different tools like MindMap, R, Stata, SPSS, the different tools being used. Okay, the core of today's my presentation is here. Technology has been used for strengthen the community participation, a case study of Arogyashri project. It is one of the unique projects implemented by GRAM in Mysore district with all 112 rural primary health centers. Technology adopted to strengthen the community participation to improve the rural primary health centers. How? By the implementation of interactive voice response system. I'm sure you all must have dialed a call center to one or the other queries. It says if it is press to go to one column and no to zero, something like that. So the same technology that we have used here, where we developed the 36 questions related to the primary health centers, which has been installed in interactive voice response system, and the people from the community has been trained about how to use the IVRS technology, and every quarterly once they call up to this IVRS toll-free number. It's a mobile-based technology. They call it and they record their answers about their primary health centers, how it is functioning. So once the data is been recorded, it will be stored in Asterisk telephone server, and you can see to the right side there is a database how it has been get collected. Once the data has been collected, stored, we generate the ranking card by using the data, and once the ranking card is ready, we disseminate it through SMS to all the community people who responded to that. So very important advocacy point in this is very important aspect of advocacy here is once the ranking card has been disseminated, all the community people who responded to it, they sit together with the doctor and discuss that, okay, these are the factors which we answered, and the ranking card is low, and I mean the status of that particular PHC is low. So they discuss with the doctor that what are the other things which is not there. So this is like a platform where initially when we implemented the project, people had a lot of issues saying that the doctor is actually a kind of culprit. No, doctor is not giving the medicine. But when they all came together to the same platform, doctor said, I'm a mere employee of the government. And look, the government is not giving the medicine. So that's what the lot of transparency aspect came together. And when this has happened, I would like to really happy to share one thing. For this intensive advocacy program, we chose 18 PHCs out of 112, and out of this 18, 15 PHCs have seen 15 PHCs have seen the changes. So I would like to categorize these changes as one is infrastructural changes, like some of the PHCs didn't had a lab. So people came together, mobilized the resources and built the lab. and bought the lab technique machines. So these are the kind of infrastructure changes. There are another set of changes like human resources. When there was no doctor coming regularly to the PHC, they constantly called the DHO, district health officer, and forced them to appoint a doctor to the PHC. There are some instances where I can quote, and there are some PHCs where they have seen the services. Like where there was no availability of medicines, people gathered the money again and then bought the medicines. So this is something a very unique tool, I guess. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It's a wonderful project. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
So you started with, you just said 113 PHCs.
112 PHCs in the entire Mysore district. It covers 7 taluks. Yeah.
And are you looking at scaling it up, and or this is your project area, and have you thought about whether these kind of practices can be taken somewhere else, or even within your project, scaling this up?
Actually, ma'am, initially when we thought this is an idea that we had, initially we implemented in health sector. It can be done the same thing for the education system also, where the SDMCs are working, where these community people can come together and do some different changes as we have seen in health sector. We have been in touch with the NRHM mission director to actually scale it up to the entire state. They are in the thought process.
Other than the case study that you shared, in that, other than IVR, is there any other technology that you use?
For SMS, I said, I guess, for the dissemination of ranking card, we use the SMS. So that's how very easily at a time we can send ranking cards to many people. So that's one more thing, SMS that we use.
SMS and IVR.
SMS and IVRs.
So any plans that you thought of using internet to propagate what you do?
Sir, on the website it is there. Apart from that, because we cater to the rural people, so mobile-based technology is something which is very popular among the rural people also. So internet is, I think, we need to go for a few more years for rural people to get used to it.
Yeah, all done.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Okay. I have
Thank
one
you,
question. I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
As a moderator, I have the privilege of taking extra time. What did you see as a change? You said how many taluks are you working in the Mysore?
7 taluks.
In the 7 taluks. In all the 7 taluks, what is the change that you saw in the primary health centers after your advocacy?
Sir, as I said, the changes can be broadly categorized into 3: infrastructure, human resources, bringing in the human resources, and very importantly, the services. But out of this, infrastructure is something which is, I think, which we can think that it is little easier. But that's bringing in the human resources is very tough because it's not in the hands of people. It has to be the government system which has to come to the, to the line. So we didn't expected this actually, but people, they stood firm and started calling the district health officers, taluk health officers, put a lot of pressure on them to actually appoint the doctors to particular PHCs.
So, if you are saying that how many PHCs or sub-centers had no doctors before you started the advocacy, and how many have actually been allocated at least ANMs in the sub-centers after your advocacy?
So, out of these 18 PHCs which we said intensively we have worked, in this I think there were 5 PHCs which didn't have a doctor. When I say when they didn't have a doctor, it means to say that it's not no doctor at all, but on a deputation usually the DHO appoints the doctors. I mean, one doctor is serving 3-4 PHCs. Let's say one day in one PHC, one day in another PHC, that's how it works. But out of this, I think there are 3 PHCs which got the doctors.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, okay.
This is our website. Here we could see some of the activities that we did, and and some of the video clippings which is also there in the YouTube. These are some of the middle one is some of the project which we are running now. You can see the Arogya Shreni project, and here is a bulletin board where the very updated projects highlights are there, and these are some of the projects ongoing and which is already done with. Get involved. I think one more interactive or people keep responding to this, especially for the internship from various universities. Students keep updating or applying for the internship. So here are some of the glimpses, which are the projects where there are the chances for interns to get in touch with us. And
What else is under get involved? Internships, you could get involved
Sure.
again. How much traffic do you get there? Visits?
from students coming in, I think for about every 6 months there will be 4 to 5 international students.
Where are the plates?
Sure. This is some of the events. These are some of the publications. You want to see the bulletin boards?
No, the bullets.
Projects.
Projects.
Yeah. Yes. Our partner doesn't want to disclose their name, so we haven't added anything there. It's a corporate supported project.
These look like projects which are actually meant for in-house consumption. It's not about wider public advocacy issues.
So there are some of the projects like District Human Development Report, which is done actually by the government itself. That's one of the government project. It's a human development report. We are doing it in both Kolar and Kodagu district. That is for the government again. Toyota Kirloskar again it was a CSR initiative. They wanted us to assess and know the need basis. So that is something that we did it. And again, for media monitoring of anti-tobacco issues, that was also taken for the policy changes at the state level. And Karnataka State Livelihood Mission, that is also with the state that we did it, what it should be. So that's the framing of the KSRLM. So that is something we did it. And research and education and leadership management with the Azim Premji Foundation, that is also is going to be scaled up by the state. So those are some of the projects. And actually we are also in the process of as I just showed, there are publications. The research work, once we have done with the research work there, it's been published here, and the people can register in our website, and they can read the documents and give back their comments about the research work that what we have done. So
Are your documents on the public domain or they are?
so they can get into the website. They have to register. I mean,
Then-
it's in the process now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they have to register? Any particular reason why they have to register to see those documents? These are public documents?
To actually give back their comments. They
I
can
see.
read
Okay.
it, but they can to give back their comments.
Then it registers.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.